Let's talk about your roof. Have you ever really thought about it? It's not just sitting up there looking pretty. It's your home's silent defender. And believe it or not, it's fighting a constant war against the elements. So today, we're going to dive into the science of what it actually takes to win that war.
So what is that roof of yours actually fighting against, day in and day out? Well, as you're about to see, the answer really depends on where you call home. Because if you live in a place like, say, Westminster, Colorado, right up against the Rocky Mountains, the answer is pretty much everything. Seriously, this area is a perfect case study for the kind of extreme weather that puts a home's defenses to the absolute ultimate test.
Which brings us to what we're calling Colorado's four-season assault. It sounds dramatic, I know, but it's true. Let's break down the relentless forces that are constantly trying to breach your home's most important shield. Okay, so meet the four main attackers. You've got catastrophic hail, you have intense UV radiation, then there are these absolutely wild temperature swings. And to top it all off, the 1-2 punch of crushing ice dams and high-powered wind. Any one of these is a major problem. All of them together, that's a whole other level.
Let's start with hail. A place like Westminster sees an average of 9 hail days per year. And to be crystal clear, that's not 9 hailstones. That is 9 separate, distinct days where storms can just drop ice from the sky that can crack, bruise, and compromise your entire roof.
Next up, the sun. You might not think of it as an attacker, but because of the high altitude, the UV radiation is 25% more intense than it is down at sea level. This invisible force is just relentless. It's constantly breaking down the asphalt in shingles, making them brittle and weak, basically cooking them day after day.
Then you've got the temperature. It is not uncommon at all to see a 40-degree swing in a single day. Just try to imagine what that does to your roof. It's expanding in the afternoon sun and then contracting fast in the cold night air over and over and over. That's called thermal shock, and it leads directly to cracks and failure.
And, oh yeah, we can't forget about wind. The local building codes there now require new roofs to be able to withstand 110-mile-per-hour winds. That number wasn't just pulled out of a hat, it's a direct response to the severe winds that come roaring off the mountains, winds that can literally peel a weaker roof right off a house.
So you add all of that up, what's the result?
Well, the analysis shows that roofs in Westminster tend to show wear and tear about 30% faster than the national average. The big takeaway here is simple. An average roof just isn't going to cut it in an environment like this. It has to be engineered for survival.
Which, of course, brings us to the solution. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the anatomy of a truly storm-proof roof. Because what we're talking about isn't just slapping on a layer of shingles, it's a complete, integrated defensive system.
It really is a system built from the bottom up. It all starts with the foundation, the wood decking. Then you add a specialized ice and water barrier that seals the most vulnerable edges. After that comes a synthetic underlayment that provides full coverage moisture protection. And only then do you install the final armor of shingles and flashing. But see that last piece? Ventilation. It's absolutely critical for protecting the whole system from the inside out. Now, when we talk about the shingles, you're going to hear this term, Class 4 impact resistance. It sounds pretty technical, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, it's the highest rating in the industry. To earn it, a shingle has to survive a brutal test. A 2-inch solid steel ball is dropped on it from 20 feet up, and it can't tear or split. That's the kind of toughness you need to stand up to serious hail. And here's the financial payoff. Because these Class 4 shingles are so much more durable, many insurance companies will actually give you a significant discount on your homeowner's insurance premium. We're talking 20 to 30% often. So this is an upgrade that can start paying for itself almost immediately. So let's just put it all side by side. Your standard shingle is pretty vulnerable to everything we've talked about. Hail, UV, wind. But impact-resistant shingles are engineered to fight back. They have that Class 4 rating, enhanced UV protection, and a much stronger bond to resist the wind. It's just a massive leap forward in performance. Okay, so what happens when a storm does hit? Let's get practical and walk through the roadmap for a homeowner. We'll go from the moment the damage happens all the way to having a new, completely secure roof over your head. The process is actually pretty straightforward. Right after the storm, the first step is always a professional inspection to document every bit of damage for your insurance claim. From there, it's all about coordinating with the adjuster and then moving on to the professional, code-compliant installation. And finally, you do a final walkthrough to confirm the work is perfect and to activate your warranty.
And it's so important to know that a quality installation isn't just a good idea, it's the law. Local building codes mandate very specific standards, like that 110-mile-per-hour wind rating, a Class A fire rating, and really strict rules for ventilation and ice barriers. These are non-negotiable requirements, all designed for your safety. All right, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's boil this all down to the key takeaways, the things that every single homeowner really ought to know. Here's your final checklist. First, think of your roof as a complete system, not just shingles. Second, choose materials that are specifically rated for your local weather challenges. Third, remember that ventilation is not optional. It is absolutely critical. Fourth, make sure the installation follows every single local code. And finally, strongly consider impact-resistant materials. Their superior protection and long-term financial value make them a really smart investment. So let's end with this one question. We all count on our roofs to protect us from every storm that rolls through. We take it for granted. But what exactly is protecting your roof? The answer isn't hope or luck. It's a complete, integrated system built with science. It's all about understanding the forces at play and engineering a defense that's smart enough and tough enough to win that war that's being waged over your head every single day.